This is my first morning in Rome. I was pleasantly awakened by the rain. Okay, it made me worry a little bit because I already bought the entrance ticket to the Vatican City, which I researched and looked until 3 a.m. last night. I didn't think it was gonna be this hard. Pretty much all tours are fully booked for the next few days and some even weeks. So I was lucky to have even found the skip the line entrance ticket on TripAdvisor. But again, I'll talk about the guided tour later because I'm quite happy in retrospect that I didn't get one. I just need to pick up the ticket at the Vatican Cafe, which is right across the entrance of the museums. So I got plenty of time to get ready. Just having some fun in this very retro elevator that I love. Make sure I close the first door, the second door. I read in other listings that in some apartments it costs 10 cents to use the elevator each time. By the time I stepped out, it was about 11 a.m. Across from me is Roma Termini, the central train station, which has its own metro line as well, but I walked around the corner to Vittorio Emanuele station, which is about 7 stops straight to Ottaviano station, where the Vatican City is. Make sure you know which direction you're going. In this case, from Roma Termini direction, I'm taking the Battistini line. And what you need to know about the public transportation system in Rome is that the ticket is valid for 100 minutes from the time it is first validated, allowing unlimited rides on buses, trams, and metros within that time frame. Do keep in mind that there are also 48 and 72-hour Roma Pass that give you unlimited rides plus discounts and free entrances to museums or archaeological sites. I personally don't think you need it, but do check their websites for what is covered. There will be a lot of people getting off the metro at Ottaviano station. You know you're at the right station then. See, the walk is not too bad. Just a zigzag 3 minutes or so around the corner and the cafe is there, where most tour guides meet to take you in. Here's mine. There's actually a huge line around the corner along the walls, all the way down that you don't see, for people who want to buy tickets at the ticketing booth. Up to 3 hours wait. Crazy. It only took about 5 minutes for my ticketing person to get us into the museums and acquire the actual paper ticket at the ticketing booth. We just stood around for a few minutes and was in within 10 minutes. Earlier I mentioned I wasn't able to get a guided tour last minute like these ones, but honestly, do you really need one? It's actually fine without one. If you're really into museums and would stop at each numbered station and listen fully, then I would suggest to buy the audio guide and just roam around on your own. It costs €8. Unlike these guys crammed up here who are in a quote-unquote small group tour, you'll just be self-guided. And don't worry, you can easily find the counter and get the headphones and the map. I had neither. I was so overwhelmed by all the rooms and galleries and wasn't sure which one to start with, so I'm in Pinacoteca, and let's talk a bit of facts about the museums. The Vatican museums were founded by Pope Julius II in the 16th century. He was responsible for commissioning several renowned artists to create works for the Vatican, including Michelangelo, Raphael, and Bramante. Anyway, there are a total of 54 museums, with the last ones being the Sistine Chapel and the Raphael rooms, consisting of a series of 1,400 rooms, chapels, and galleries, with the largest collection of art, roughly 70,000 works. This one right here, Stefanitsky Triptych, double-sided triptych by Giotto, was an altar of Old St. Peter's Basilica. These colorful frescoes jump out, a bit different from the rest of the vibes from before. These are Melosso's musical-making angels. The tapestries hung here, absolutely magnificent in size, roughly about 300 pieces including in storage, inaccessible to the public. You have to see with your own eyes just the details of the fibers woven together. These tapestries were treated as decorated carpet with beautiful ornamental value, but also with practical purposes such as warming up the room when hung on the walls, like the lower part of the walls in Sistine Chapel to absorb the heat from the braziers that burned in the chapel. Come to think of it, I think this room was one of the only ones with air conditioning while the others had fans. As I'm still walking through Pinacoteca, which has 18 rooms, you will come across masterpieces like this one, The Descent from the Cross by Caravaggio, and Portrait of Voltaire by Jean Hubert, named after this pinecone in the center. Now I've come out for some fresh air in a pinecone courtyard. This sculpture in the courtyard area is Sphere Within a Sphere, which is the work of a modern artist, Arnaldo Pomodoro. At first I thought it was turning from the natural wind, but then I realized the guide was pulling on it. If you look closely, it depicts the inner sphere as Earth and the outer one as Christianity. These spheres have multiple fractures which symbolize the cracks in our world today. Very deep. At this point, I'm following the crowd, which seems to be a one-way stream. So the Vatican museums are often linked with a collection from the Greek and Roman period, but they also house Egyptian antiquities with artifacts and artworks from Egypt during the Roman period. Painted mummy cases, statues of pharaohs, queens, and various sculptures, inscriptions, and reliefs. The mummies displayed here are real. Here's a peaceful, serene atmosphere at the Octagonal Courtyard, capturing various human emotions such as grief, sorrow, contemplation, and serenity. The expressive faces not only showcase the artistic skill of ancient Roman sculptors, but also provide a glimpse into the emotions and sentiments associated with death and commemoration in ancient Roman culture. The Hall of Animals houses both real and mythical animals. There are lions, tigers, eagles, bulls, and other creatures here. In the heart of the Hall of Muses, statues of the 9 Greek goddesses grace the space, embodying arts and sciences, with Hermes and Athena standing tall. Each figure symbolizes creativity and knowledge, immersing us in the essence of ancient inspiration. Look above, the celestial ceilings enchant beyond, uniting art and history into a breathtaking symphony that echoes through time. This large hall with a hemispherical dome vault with ceiling inspired by the Pantheon showcases some of the most renowned ancient Roman sculptures. With all around the walls are colossal ancient statues, each in its own shallow alcove, designed to highlight and enhance the viewing experience of the sculptures like Hercules and Apollo. Look at this beautiful mosaic floor. It was literally taken up piece by piece from the ancient bathhouses from Ostia Antica, which was the old port of Rome. Then there's the big bowl in the center, the bathtub. More technically known as a porphyry basin, is made from a single block of porphyry, an exceptionally hard and rare volcanic stone, red porphyry. Because of this highly prestigious and valuable material reserved for the most elite and wealthy individuals, including emperors and aristocrats, the use of porphyry for a bathtub was a symbol of luxury and social status, and is believed to have served as a luxurious and opulent bathtub in ancient times. This particular one was Emperor Nero's from his palace. This is the Greek cross room, shaped like a plus sign, but unlike the Latin cross, Greek cross have equal arms. So the cross room features 2 large ancient sarcophagi, opposite of each other, which were used as stone burial coffins. Just look at the details of this sculpting work here. After the Greek cross room, you'll flow into Gallery of the Candelabra, which is a long corridor adorned with ancient Roman marble candelabra or torchères lining the walls. As you start to walk through the 250 meters of the Gallery of Tapestries, you'll be immersed in the world of these remarkable woven artworks. Tapestries not only showcase exceptional craftsmanship, but also offer insights into the cultural, religious, and historical themes at the time. Here you can see Raphael's work, as he designed 12 tapestries to depict the life of Christ. Did you know that Raphael and Michelangelo worked in the Vatican at the same time? The ceiling of this place is an interesting story also. It looks sculpted, right? It's actually completely flat. The artists of 18th century learned how to trick our mind and painted shadow and light on a 2D surface to create 3D effect. The Gallery of Maps is one of the most impressive galleries, consisting 40 frescoes of maps showing the Italian peninsula in its entirety. As I gazed up, side to side, I found myself mesmerized by the maps. Their vivid details and historical significance enthralled me. To the point where my neck was starting to soar. This was one of my favorite rooms to step in, Room of the Immaculate Conception. These frescoes show images from the proclamation of the dogma of the Immaculate Conception, which refers to the theological doctrine in the Roman Catholic Church that affirms that the Virgin Mary was conceived without original sin. At the center of the room is the precious cabinet made of wood, metal, porcelain, and semi-precious stones, showcasing precious books with translations of the bull Ineffabilis Deus of 1854, which define the dogma of the Immaculate Conception in all languages of the Catholic population of the world. This fresco of the proclamation of the dogma of the Immaculate Conception occupies an entire wall in the room. The lower part represents the militant church, with Pope Pius IX as the head, proclaiming the dogma of the Immaculate Conception inside St. Peter's Basilica. Upper portion represents the triumphant church with the Most Holy Trinity, the angels and saints honoring the Immaculate Virgin Mary. It's all very fascinating because this entire room is dedicated to a belief that Virgin Mary is born free of sins. Right before the Sistine Chapel is the Raphael rooms, a series of 4 interconnected rooms. I'm in one of the 4, the Hall of Constantine. You can see the visual history of the church in the 4th century. Just breathtaking, the colors. What an example of Renaissance artistry and Raphael's immense talent as a painter and his ability to convey complex themes through visual storytelling. I just finished Sistine Chapel. It's a bummer that tourists aren't allowed to take photos or videos inside. Guards will shout, "No photos, no video." As mentioned before, maybe due to the hung tapestries, there was AC. The room went suddenly very cool as you entered. A bit eerie. And lots of small groups stopping with their guides, pretty much occupying the entire space. So to describe the space, which is roughly 40 meters long, 13 meters wide, and 20 meters in height, was like a long stretch of high ceiling room with a partition in the middle. The walls and ceilings filled with paintings by Michelangelo. There's a lot of angels and a lot of skin. One of the most famous frescoes was the creation of Adam. I'm sure you've all seen it. Yes, this finger-touching one. Michelangelo actually hated his gig at Sistine Chapel, which lasted 9 years or so, because he has always considered himself more of a sculptor. Back to the reason why the Sistine Chapel do not allow cameras is because a certain TV network from Japan provided the funds for the restoration of the paintings, which lasted 20 years, with a price tag totaling $4.2 million in exchange for film rights. But I also researched a bit and found that that copyright actually expires 3 years after each part of the restoration was complete. But the Vatican decided to keep the photo ban in place to protect the precious artwork from harmful camera flashes. Okay, by now, I should be entering St. Peter's Basilica because it's right after Sistine Chapel. But clearly, I'm at a wrong place. There were literally 2 exits, and I took the one to the left because the one to the right looked like a small little door, like a toilet door. Ooh, I can wear these any day as my jewelry. They are so gorgeous. Okay, just past the gift shop. I'm ready for St. Peter's Basilica because it's been like an hour and a half walking. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, at this point, I'm still looking for the St. Peter's Basilica because I'm thinking I'm still going with the flow, but it's almost 20 minutes. I missed the exit to St. Peter's Basilica, so I'm doing the walk again, and it's been almost 20 minutes. And I'm going through this last stretch of the hallway. The crowd seems to be about the same, a little more, if anything. So, should have known. So I just passed the St. Peter's Basilica, which I totally missed the first time, thinking it was the toilet. So that trip took me exactly 35 minutes. That's a tiny door. That's a tiny door out of Sistine Chapel. I really thought people were queuing there for the toilet. And this is the correct way to lead you to St. Peter's Square. During special occasions, the square becomes the focal point for various religious ceremonies and celebrations, drawing thousands of people from around the world. I'm finally inside the world's largest church. I want to dedicate the end to just simply enjoying my walk through the church, as St. Peter's Basilica stands as a testament to human creativity, architectural mastery, and artistic brilliance, transcending religious boundaries. Its awe-inspiring dome, magnificent sculptures, and rich history captivate visitors from all walks of life, offering a profound appreciation for the beauty of human achievements and the enduring legacy of art and architecture. Regardless of one's religious beliefs, St. Peter's Basilica remains a timeless marvel that inspires wonder and admiration in all who have the privilege to behold its majestic splendor. done. First day. Crossed off Vatican City, St. Peter's Basilica, Sistine Chapel, and a bunch of museums. This gate basically separates the rest of Rome with the Vatican City. I want to stand two places at once, just like that movie, A Walk to Remember. Remember one of the wishes that Mandy Moore had is to be at two places at once? And the guy, what was his name?